Hi, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending where on the globe you happen to be right now. Of course, this is Julian, and this is another episode of Doing English with Julian. So, what are we going to be talking about today? Well, today I'm going to talk about learning grammar. Yeah, learning English grammar. Some people love it. Actually, no. Well, some people love it, I guess. Most people hate it. I don't think there's many people who likes to study grammar, to be perfectly honest. But I think a lot of the problems really comes from people don't really understand what grammar and grammar rules really are. Maybe. This is actually something that I talked about in February's Doing English Plus Masterclass session, where I spent about an hour, more than an hour, actually talking about this and basically going through it point by point. What is grammar exactly? And then going through it and finishing with kind of the best in how to learn grammar in an effective kind of way. But learning grammar, a lot of the problem comes from, well, you know, people say, oh, learning grammar, it's so boring. Studying grammar rules, they're so confusing. And, you know, I just can't motivate myself to do it. But I think it's because you're thinking about grammar in the wrong kind of way. You shouldn't be trying to learn grammar as kind of rules. This is not to say that studying grammar isn't important, because it is. I completely disagree with people who say, oh, you can just pick up grammar like a child by just, I don't know, being exposed to the language. That's a load of rubbish for so many reasons. Not the least being that actually kids work really hard to learn their native language. Anybody who says, oh, you should learn like a kid because, you know, kids learn so quickly and so easily. Yes, they learn quickly, but no, they don't learn easily. Anyway, I'm digressing, but yes, you do need to study grammar. No, you don't need to memorize grammar rules. I think, you know, trying to memorize things like, you know, subject plus to infinitive or something like that is not that helpful. Where does grammar come from? I think it helps to kind of think about what grammar is. It's easy, the way we get taught English in schools, the way we get taught language, it's easy to think that, you know, we have grammar rules, and language kind of comes from those rules. We have all the rules, and from the rules comes language, like a tree growing from an acorn, where the acorn is the grammar rules and the tree is the language growing up out of it. But that's actually a load of rubbish, because language came first. Of course, we had language, and then one day some clever people called linguists sat down and started to analyze the language that they saw, and they started to write rules based on that. And the kind of the pedagogic grammar that we learn and teach in classrooms is a subset of that grammar. It only really scratches the surface because the underlying rules are extremely complicated. But the point here is that we didn't make language from rules. We took language and we tried to see the patterns and get rules from the language. What this means is that there is no rule that is actually a perfect fit. Every rule is only, you know, it's a fuzzy fit. There are always going to be exceptions. There are always going to be times when that rule doesn't actually make sense and doesn't work. Because the patterns we see are only patterns, and they only make sense a majority of the time. So yeah, if you can start thinking about English grammar in that kind of way, and your life will become much easier, I think. Yeah, like I said, this is such a long kind of the whole like learning English grammar topic. I could talk for hours and hours and hours about this. And like I said, back in the first Saturday of February, what day was it? 7th of February, when I did the Doing English Plus Masterclass. I talked for a solid hour, and even then I went away thinking, oh, I could have said this and this as well. It's, you know, yeah, anyway, I'm going off on a tangent now. So I think that's about it for today's video. It's a beautiful day out today. It's been raining a lot recently, but today it's lovely and sunny. It's a little bit cold. Maybe you can see my breath floating up into the air. Before I go, you should now go down below this video and click on the link and join the Doing English Daily newsletter, where I send you all kinds of English learning tips, stories, anecdotes, all kinds of amazing things. Even some grammar learning tips sometimes, I think. So go and click on that link and sign up. You can thank me later. Goodbye. Goodbye.